Hello everybody, my name is Jefferson Agbai and I'm presenting on Cyrus Africa. The mission of Cyrus Africa is to provide access to affordable microcredit to low-income people, thereby improving family income and reducing poverty. Today, significant numbers of people have limited or no access to basic financial services. Globally, over 2.5 billion people have limited or no access to basic financial services. At the continental level in sub-Saharan Africa, financial exclusion is about over 70% of the population. And this finds most expression among women, the youth, the very poor in our society. In Ghana, over 70% of people, particularly the economically active poor, do not have access to basic financial services. This low penetration of financial services in low-income markets are mainly due to accessibility challenges. Some of these include complex loan requirements, which makes it very difficult for those low-income people at the bottom of the economic pyramid to be able to access these financial products. Secondly, there's cumbersome loan application processes with many financial services providers. This then means that the application procedure does not favor those who are not able to read and write, and therefore prevents them from accessing financial services. There's also the lack of presence of financial service providers in these poor communities, mainly due to issues such as commercial viability, issues relating to poor infrastructure. Therefore, many of these financial service providers do not prefer to set up in these poor communities. Again, we have poor alignment of product features, particularly by the financial service providers, and which means that they are not able to cater to the specific needs of these low-income people. This has resulted in a huge gap, which means we have an addressable market gap of about 40 million people, primarily in the peri-urban and the rural areas. Cyrus Africa has had a huge track record in providing financial service and access to poor people over the past 5 years. We have been profitable as a micro-lender in our mission to include those who are not part of the financial system. We have a well-experienced management team that has over 20 years combined experience in providing micro-lending in Ghana for the past 15 years. Our client-centric model has been the key success of our foundation and our success. This shows in areas such as accessibility. Our offices are conveniently located within slums and marginalized communities. We have a client-friendly loan service which takes into consideration the client's business cycles, their social network systems, and the seasonality of the operations. Our lending approach is simplified. Our loans are for small amounts, they are short-term, they are unsecured, meaning they don't have collateral requirements, and they are frequent payments. Our application process is simplified, which means that our staff are involved in providing assistance to these clients when it comes to completing loan application forms. We utilize a cash loan disbursement approach, which means that we don't have to issue cash checks to these clients who would then have to go to the banks to queue and waste time away from their businesses. We have a low-cost service, which is seen in our low application fees, low entry charges, absence of exit fees, and low interest payments. We've impacted thousands of lives over the past 5 years. Between now and the year 2020, Cyrus Africa will continue to provide substantial social impact in terms of jobs, enterprises, building capabilities and skills, and enabling families' education and health. For instance, when it comes to job creation, we plan to impact over 70,000 people through our loan program. When we look at areas of financial capability and ability to understand, have financial literacy, we plan to reach well over 100,000 people in this area. In the area of enterprise and improved business skills, we plan to reach over 60,000 people with our loan program and the services that we provide. Our theory of change is that by Cyrus Africa providing access to affordable microcredit to low-income people and improving family income and reducing poverty, It will bring about an impact, which is to ensure business success for these people and bring about increase in income for the family, which eventually lifts them out of poverty. Cyrus Africa provides a compelling product to its two key segments of women. The first being the 8 million in the rural and peri-urban areas, and the 6 million in the urban areas. In terms of our marketing and distribution strategy, Cyrus has been successful with its positioning, marketing strategy, and sales and distribution strategy, which involve the utilization of the loan officers, credit officers, in the delivery of these loan products from offices that are set up within these communities. By this, we have been able to provide over 15,000 loans to these low-income women over the past 5 years. In terms of our competitive advantage, Cyrus Africa has strong competitive advantage, notably its product accessibility, simplified application process, collateral requirements, and low disbursement and repayment approach. Our value proposition is what keeps us in business, because unlike other financial NGOs and rural community banks that have complicated and lengthy and inconvenient processes, Cyrus Africa has a better loan application, disbursement and repayment processes that are more simplified, understandable, and easily accessible for the rural and urban poor. And this access meets the needs of low-income entrepreneurial women in a way that our competitors are not able to. When we look at our performance, our operational performance, our financial performance, our outreach performance, we have achieved strong growth in net income in our branch growth and borrowers since 2013. And in the coming years, South Africa plans to achieve continued growth in these key indicators. Our strategic priorities are clear. First, we want to integrate social performance metrics into the overall organization, from client recruitment to loan disbursement and servicing. The next is to implement a new cloud or software-based program which will enable us to expand our loan program and track our results in different communities. We plan to upgrade our management team and develop our senior leadership team to enable to meet up to the challenges that will come up with the growth of the organization. Also, we plan to scale up the growth of the organization into other new areas, new markets, new regions, areas that are virgin and not been tapped, but have huge significant potential for commercial viability. And in the process, we want to collect best practices and determine the best approach for establishing and running a branch. Our goal is to dramatically expand our loan program. To enable us to achieve this, we are seeking a debt financing of over $750,000 to enable us to grow our loan portfolio program. We are also seeking grants of between $50,000 to $100,000 to enable us to implement the new cloud-based software program, expand our program, and integrate social performance metrics into the overall organization. In the end, we expect that this will achieve not only commercial success for Cyrus Africa, but will also enable us to achieve success in our social impact indicators. For instance, we want to impact over 70,000 people in job creation. We want to impact over 30,000 people who work in these micro enterprises. We want to reach over 140,000 people with improved financial capability. We want to impact over 60,000 people with improved business and enterprise skills. We want to enable thousands of families achieve improved well-being, education, and health outcomes by 2020. Thank you very much.